National Preparedness Month. Candle. This could literally be a candle. Um, Candles have a lot of uses, actually, in a survival scenario. One is Morse Kohansky, survival guru, uh, awesome guy, who my brother saw survival applications and weapon systems put me onto, I don't know, several months ago. Morse talks about um, how in a shelter, a candle, is it a candle or three candles, can replace the body heat of another person in your shelter with you. And so a simple candle in an enclosed shelter that's, doesn't have the wind blowing through it can help keep that enclosed shelter quite warm. Candle can also be used for fire making. If you can light the wick of the candle and you're bad at fire making, or you're dealing with very wet material, or you know and it's windy, or the insert thing here, a candle can help you make fire quite well. um, Candle is also the ability to see at night. And so as part of your EDC, right, like, do you carry a flashlight? I do. Carry a 2 CR123 cell flashlight in my back pocket, 24/7, 365. It's a Streamlight ProTac 2 XL or LX or some shit. And it works. It works great. And it's cool to have a handheld light in addition to a weapons light, so that I'm not pointing a weapon at something, that I'm simply trying to illuminate. Because, if it's one of my children, why am I pointing a gun at them? So, very helpful. I have on this chest rig, this is a little Streamlight ProTac 90, and this is cool. It's just a little 90-degree flashlight, runs on a single CR123, and that's cool because for hands-free operation, I leave it here on the chest rig, hit the button on the back, and turn it on, and it illuminates whatever I'm pointed at. That's a cool, nifty little trick right there. I've got on my helmet a Surefire light. I don't remember the model number, but it's got white light, blue light, red light, and IR illumination all built into it. Also runs on a single CR123. You might be seeing a pattern here. And that also gives me hands-free illumination candle, with the added benefit of gives me IR illumination if I'm inside of a building and it's really dark inside of a building. See, NOD's night vision amplifies whatever light there is. It's an amplifier. That's what the tubes are doing. They're amplifiers. But it's amplifying light rather than sound, like a guitar amplifier does. But if there's no ambient light, if you're in a dark building, there's no ambient light, NODs don't always work the best in that situation. So having a little helmet mounted illuminator / white light is a really good move. At least for me, in my context, doing what I do. And speaking of mounting things to your head, a basic headlamp goes a long way. And there's 1,000 different ones out there, and this is not a recommendation. This is a WowTac A2S. WowTac A2S. And it comes with this rubberized mount. This is Chinesium. But this also runs on 2 CR123s, or a rechargeable 18650. And I like the lights that have dual fuel options, because I find a lot of the times, especially when we're doing rescue stuff with Caleb House, all of the lights, everything that has batteries in it that should be good to go, all of a sudden isn't. And so I've standardized as much as I can all of my stuff to run on CR123s. This headlamp 123s. This light, 123s. That PEC 15, 123s. That white light slash illuminator, 123s. This TLR1 HL weapons light, 123s. So that allows me to carry one type of battery rather than multiple different types of batteries. But I also have the option on a lot of these devices that they have rechargeable 18650s. I found myself personally that the 18650s are never charged when I need them to charge, or they're not as charged as I need them to be for the duration of time that I'm going to be using the light. That's a pain in the ass. So having the option to run the rechargeable 18650s or 123s has been a major benefit to me. There's also an argument that after the balloon goes up, you know, the one that was flying over Montana, that one, or was it all the other ones that nobody told us about? After the balloon goes up, having rechargeable batteries and a way to recharge them gives me system longevity, because 123s, I don't have the log train to supply unlimited 123s forever. True. And so there's something to be said for rechargeable 18650s. Or Surefire, and I'm sure others, make rechargeable 123s as well, of which I have a couple dozen. So that's cool too. But those batteries, rechargeable batteries, wear out over time. So how deep is your storehouse of rechargeable batteries? Not just disposable batteries, but rechargeable batteries as well. So having a headlamp like this, or anything else, any other brand, I don't care. Having a headlamp allows you to be hands-free while you're doing stuff, and that makes a whole lot of sense, right? But if you're not used to using a headlamp or wearing a headlamp, it doesn't quite click until it clicks. It's like, this is the best thing since sliced bread, because otherwise one hand is constantly tied up holding the light. And I don't know about y'all, but how many of y'all have had the trauma of trying to hold your flashlight for your dad while he's working on something in an engine compartment and the light's never in the wrong place, or never in the right place. In fact, my dad used to tell me, the way we figured that one out was, he said, shine the light at my hands. Copy. So I just looked where his hands were and shine the light on his hands, and there was enough splash to illuminate whatever it was that he was working on. Well, you don't have to relive those past traumas when you have a headlamp, right? Wherever you look, there's the light. So, candle. It can be, and maybe should be, depending on your context, physical candles as part of your survival kit. But it's also a way to shine your light into the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. And so for me, I've standardized to the best of my ability on equipment that operates on CR123s, so that I have commonality there, so it simplifies my logistics on the back end. And I have a light on all of my weapons. I have a light mounted to my helmet or on my head with a headlamp, depending on what I'm doing. And I have a light on my kit. On this chest rig, it's this ProTac 90. On my plate carrier, I have another one of these, etc., etc. So, like, lights matter. You need to be able to see. You hear that spy plane above me? That's cool. Y'all have a blessed day. Shalom.